Chiko Suzuki and my ISP topic is on tobacco. I chose this topic because my grandma had died of cancer. She had died in 2010, about 3 years ago, and she had been suffering for about 8 months. And I did not really know about tobacco, and I only knew that tobacco was bad for your body. So then I wanted to learn more about tobacco, and this is why I chose this topic. The first smoking has started by a famous sailor named Christopher Columbus. He was a famous sailor because he had a new idea to go west. This was an unusual idea because other sailors only thought there was only one way to go to Asia. That was to go down Africa and go up north where Asia was. Christopher Columbus believed that the earth was round, so then he went west. Then he met a tribe named the Maya Indians. This tribe had been smoking for about 4,000 years ago, and the Maya Indians had been living in Mexico. They have been using tobacco for medical reasons and for ceremonies and for treasure, like for money for them. And Christopher Columbus traded the goods he had from Europe. And a person named John Hawkins, a person in his crew, brought tobacco aboard and to Europe, and this is how the first smoking had started. Now we know a lot about technology, and we know that smoking is bad for your body. But back then, people did not know that smoking was bad for your body. Canada and Australia were the first country to sell these pictures on tobacco packages. This was the idea of governors, and the governors knew that smokers were harming their environment, so the governors wanted smokers to stop smoking, and this was the governor's idea. But in 2010, it was a rule in Canada and Australia that they have to sell tobacco packages with bold warnings and with these pictures on them. And by selling these pictures, 10 to 15% of the people stopped smoking. There are many kinds of tobacco. One main kind are the cigarettes. The cigarettes are the ones you could see on the ground many times, and the ones that that are very convenient. It is convenient for the smoker because the smoker just has to light it up on the edge of it and then smoke. But there are other kinds of tobacco. This is the water pipe tobacco. The water pipe tobacco is not much known because it is used in the northern part of Asia. The water pipe tobacco is used for ceremonies or social events when families and friends meet together for a very long time, and they pass it around one by one, smoking and having a good time. These are the kinds of pipes that some people smoke because they don't like cigarettes, and these are the ones that you put in this hole so that people could smoke and light it up. It is said that in men smoke more than women because of World War II. Some people say because in World War II, many soldiers were giving free tobacco from the companies. The companies gave free tobacco because of replacing food and for the soldiers to not forget their family and don't be sad because they can't meet their family. Also, some people say that people don't smoke because of advertisements. Advertisements sold these days were advertisements that were sold mostly for men. They were sold mostly for men because a long time ago they said that men showed more power and that men were more adored by women, and if they smoke, they'll look cool. Peer pressure. Peer pressure is one way people start smoking. It is when a person or a person at school or a person that never smoked before gets cigarette from a person, a friend that has already been smoking. The non-smoker can't say no to a friend because they think they'll lose relationship with them or that they can't play with them anymore. So the non-smoker can't say no and the usual response is no, is yes, or I'll try one. And people really can't say no because it is hard for them. It is different when a parent says no, parent lends you a cigarette to a non-smoker. It is because they don't really have relationship with them, or they don't think that they'll lose relationship with them and they can't play with them anymore. There are advertisements. This kind of advertisement is sold for children, but there are other advertisements that are sold for adults. These advertisements make children curious, like what the taste is like, and how you would look like, and how you could fit in with other people. It makes people curious because, and the smokers try to be like this person that they like because people who are curious want to look like them or do what they're doing, which is smoking. And they say many good, not true things about smoking, and they really want to be like them. So some children start smoking because of the advertisements. Other people smoke because of environment. They smoke because of environment because their parents have been smoking. If their parents have been smoking, the child might think that they'll have a really fun time when they grow up because the parents might see them smoking and having a really fun time. The parents are showing a really bad example because if they smoke, and if the parents are smoking, the child also might think that it'll be fun, and if they smoke from an early age, they will have fun like their parents are having, which is not really good. And because the child might smoke from a really young age. Cope. Some people smoke because of cope. Cope is when you have stress and you're tired and you really want to rest, but you have business to do and you're really tired. This man in this picture has a lot of business to do and he's really tired, so he starts depending on alcohol, tobacco, or drugs. These happens to businessmen. Some people say because they're really tired and they have a lot of business to do. Disease. On the left you could see a really healthy lung, and on the right you could see an unhealthy lung. What do you think about these pictures? On the picture on the left. Oh, on the right. Oh, on the left. Oh, right. Like, it's not really healthy because it's a smoker's lung. Because if it is said that 7,000 ingredients in tobacco there are 7,000 ingredients in tobacco, and 250 are really harmful, and about 70 are cancer causing. That is really bad because your lung may look like this if you smoke. Secondhand smoking. Secondhand smoking is very bad for everyone. It is also bad for adults, but really bad for children or younger babies. It is bad for younger babies because babies have really weak lungs and that they're just being used to the fresh air. But for adults, it's bad for adults too. But they're already used to the air and they already know about tobacco and that they could just go away or go somewhere else, but children can't walk, so they can't really walk away from the smoke. It is said that 15% of the smoke is the smoke that the smoker is inhaling, but the rest 85% of the smoke is spread outside, and that is the air we are breathing in. You may want to know why we are not allowed to smoke in airplanes. It is because there was a cabin attendant that was serving drinks to a smoker. Then she got cancer and she died. So the government said that you are not allowed to smoke, and this is why you're not allowed to smoke in airplanes. There are 2 ways to stop smoking. One way is to go to a doctor, a special kind of doctor. It is not a normal doctor, because when you go to a normal doctor, it is a doctor where you go when you have like when you're sick and you need cough drops and stuff. But this kind of doctor is a doctor called a smoking suggestion clinic, and this kind of doctor gives you advice and nicotine patch and the nicotine gum. The nicotine patch and nicotine gum may help some smokers because they smell the nicotine, or they could taste the nicotine a little bit, but it's not as bad as smoking. The second way to stop smoking is stop smoking by yourself. It helps if it depends on the person's will, because if a person really wants to stop smoking because they have a child, it will be really different from a person who wants to stop smoking for no good reason. It is different because if a person has a child and wants to stop smoking, they know it's bad for the child and for them, so they have a better chance of stop smoking. In Psalms 4:1 it says, if you smoke, I think it's better to pray to God and have a proper relationship with Him. In Psalms 4:1 it says, answer me when I call you, my righteous God. Give me relief from my distress. Have mercy on me and answer my prayer. This means that God listens to your prayer, and when you need Him, He will be there to help you. I have one quick question. Many Christians and people ask, is smoking sinning to God? On my opinion, I think it is. If you smoke, it is sinning to God. In 1 Corinthians 6:19 it says, do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. This means that God made you, and He wants you to tell God's love for all people, but because our bodies are the temples of the Holy Spirit. But if you misuse your life, God is not really happy because you're not using your life wisely. Thank you for listening.